Here we go then. Does Token do the same CT side it did last Inferno game? No, it doesn't. It's very much an A-heavy defense. Coming from Token. Smoke down to make the T side think twice about just rushing straight up B. And it has actually, in fact, done that. And I'm going to have to do a bit of observing myself because the camera doesn't want to be in the correct positions. MSK getting one from second mid. On that aggressive push, he does go down. Now Bronx, Sage, the two tasks are holding the site. They look overlook Sage and he gets both of them. The two coming in overlook Sage as they fight the man at the back of sight. And 3 crisp headshots coming out from him. He did get traded out by one of the players, but unfortunately not a lot that remaining T player could do. And I find this a little bit interesting from the T side. Plenty of SMGs this time from Token. That's upgraded Deagles. So they're certainly gonna be on an eco next round unless they can get a bomb plant and decide they want to go for the force buy. There's a couple of players down on 1,300. 3, in fact. That's not a lot of money left for the next round. That respoke. Maybe a little bit early for top mid. Because they have used their smokes now. And there's still about a minute left in the round. Bronx. He did receive a little bit of contact, and he has called over one person for reinforcements. Right now, the T's going to try and make their way out. Boiler. It's a 2-for-1 trade in Token's favor so far. The player Apps coming out. Can't get anything from the flank. And Aerostratus just left, trying to jiggle Cat out of Boiler. He does get Dejan eventually. And Dima. Oh, he's left away at just the wrong moment. But Bronx misses the shots. Steadies himself and connects it this time around. And now Aerostratus trying to sneak his way out. Boiler out of App, sorry. But Sage is there ready and waiting from the pit. They do in fact go for the buy without a bomb plant. There's not a lot of util over on the EsportsWales side. And I feel like if they were going to go for this buy in the 3rd round, then realistically, you know, having 4 Deagles last round probably wasn't a smart idea. Because now they've got limited utility. There's not a lot they can do. They've completely given up Banana because of it. And this round is essentially... they have to draw out the utility, which to be fair, they've been okay at doing, showing a bit of contact in some places, but they have to draw out that utility via gunfire and contact alone. They can't use any of their own util. They have simply just 3 smokes, a Molotov which is already gone. They can't use that to clear out the site now. And 1 flash, a singular flash for their entry. Token is still erring on the side of this is an A hit. And Rocks peeking before the smoke pops and he rips the head off of Milindima. And Aerostratus using that smoke to try and draw rotations over to A to give himself a bit of a look on A. That rotation has worked. Flow of effect. Getting one of them. There's the sole A player going down in Aerostratus. So now Token, they can focus their entirety of their efforts on this retake. And no util from either side, just the defuse kits. There's a player, new box, which note is acutely ready to peek. Wait. Woohoo! That is a nice headshot on the player's pillar. And Nubox gets 2 kills before going down. Sage. Time beginning to tick low. There's nothing he can really do now. He does get the kill, but it's too late. Vornes plays time perfectly. Sage doesn't get a chance to run away. He goes down as well. Swasto was critical of that EsportsWales buy to begin with. It does work out for them. They're able to bring those rotations over to the A site and hit the Soulman on B. Well, Bronx playing a bit of an aggressive angle. Maybe a little bit too aggressive. And he goes down without any assistance being anywhere close to present. The CT side. We do see an SMG coming in for EsportsWales rebuy. It was a very expensive round. Everyone went down. So, economy being kept honest. 4 players reside around this bracket area. You need to be very good with your util usage. Do anything here. And the flash from Bronx is perfect. And Zage has put Wacky Zip so very low, but he's not gotten the kill yet. Interestingly, that EsportsWales, they've backed off of B. They're going to head their way over to the A site now. You can see on the minimap as well, Notes is going to do a little bit of exploring, and Zage pressed into the site. Has to look at the correct way, and oh, thankfully for him, the low player is the one that pushed onto the site first, so he does manage to get that first kill. He does go down in the end, not able to get any more. And Note, he could look to do this. I think that smoke has gone down to block off short. So, yep, there we are. They do seem ready for him to be coming from this behind angle. But he is coming out from apps, trying to look to see if he can find anything over the smoke. And instead, Merlin Dima, maybe there was a gap in that smoke, but he's found Note instead. So the T side equal up the scoreline. And now we get our first gun round of the game. Still a couple of players with just an AK and armor and 0 utility. And Sage, that he absolutely eats that nade as he tries to be aggressive. He's going to have to back off because of it. Oh, Bronx. The retake utility for Banana, absolutely perfect from the CT side. Now, the T side landing a little bit of util over for A. There's the smoke down for long. But the CT players, they've already given this into a pretty passive stance after the damage that Zage took early on in the round. And Bronx and Zage getting one apiece at either side of the map. Villandima suddenly left alone. The bomb's gone down in middle. So this man has to find completely different angles and not prepared for Bronx's push on Banana. So as EsportsWales get back into this game, in comes the first gun round and they're immediately shut down again. And Token did so well at keeping them honest. EsportsWales, they win 2 rounds in a row. And they're on a complete reset. Granted, Token, their money can be in a pretty dire situation as well if they lose this round. But you'd expect them to do reasonably well, considering the economic factor. Bronx taking a surprising amount of damage from that Mach 10 rush through the Molotov. And Wacky Zip managing to do 50 HP of damage to MSKR in top mid. Still, advantage firmly on Token's side. CTs group up looking for a B hit. That smoke is going to be in too late as they're already going to be through it. Bronx from the CT does manage to get two. What can Note do? Preston at new box as well. He does get one of them. And Varnes is doing what he can with the weapons he has. Swing banana out. Doesn't get anything. Runs into the peak from 2 players. So that the anti-eco successfully dealt with as well. And still, money is a very awkward thing on the T side. 2 players on Mac 10s. Wacky Zips on a Galil as well. We do get the AWP out though. And that ultimately could be a deciding factor. That was the downfall of Token in their first game of the season. Is that lack of an AWP on the CT side of this particular map. So, it needs to be seen as it goes on. How things unfold. That's currently 4 players for Token reside on this A site. A lot of the contact from EsportsWales has been over on this A site as well. A couple of smokes going down now. Vorner's going to line up that absolute smoke, but the flash. Oh, I think that was Bronx, who is pretty much always so perfect with his flashes. Just as that lurk smoke goes down, Vornes receives a flash right to the face. So 2 kills from Token Gaming. MSKR gets 1. Sage gets 1 as well. And EsportsWales, they don't really have a lot left they can do. There is one player, Bronx, rotating back over to B. But he's should quickly hightail his way back as they realize there's multiple people here from the T side. Melendima getting 1 of the kills with the AWP he needs. He does need 2 more, at least, to take this site. And he looks the wrong way, Sage catching him completely off guard. There we go. Back to being MSKR as that de facto AWPer. I think it was Dejan last time. Oh, there we go. They swap it back. It's, yeah, Dejan's sort of picked up that AWP role. In recent times. It's like a very aggressive and eco B rush coming out from the T side. The flash, pretty good. It completely blinded for the Fett. So he wasn't able to help his teammate on the double peek. And Note cleans up Bronx's 3K with 2 of his own. So another anti-eco comfortably met. And EsportsWales may have just made a bit of a blunder. As 2 people very quickly buy the AWP. One of which is Glass Cannon, so not looking good. Neither of them have utility, and Vornes himself only has a smoke, and that's it. Things look like they're starting to snowball a little bit for the T side. EsportsWales is trying to make a couple of mistakes. I'm just seeing MSKR's picked it back up on the CT side. Currently holding towards that boiler position, which he could be presented with a kill. Now timing on the shot is perfect. And Vornes does peek into a blind man, but it doesn't matter. Melendima coming in from apps again. It's an interesting position for an AWPer to be coming in from. It can work, but with a full take like this, where you're smoking off Moto, that's a bit of an interesting one. There's still 3 players here. MSKR up in that common AWPing spot. He does get the first one, but the 2 other AWP, Aerostras and Melendima, completely eliminate MSKR's teammates. Wacky Zip with the AK able to push up close as well. And the AWP over the top of the Molotov. Gonna take out the remaining player in Bronx. Somehow that worked. That should not have worked. I think part of the reason where that works is because, one, you don't expect a T-side to have 2 ops, and secondly, particularly with that full take of you're smoking off motor, you don't necessarily expect the AWP to be coming in from apps. So one of the players just goes walking into that apps angle and receives an AWP bullet to the chest. Nades down mid from Token early on didn't net them the damage that they particularly wanted. And Dima trying to spam through the half wall doesn't net anything. Stratus now realizes that there was at least a player in apps just a second ago. They are going to have to flash that angle off now. Oh, I think the retake flash from Note, allowing Bronx to get the opening pick over on B. And he doing a good chunk of damage to the AWP as well. It's now EsportsWales. After snowballing around, they maybe should have lost. Now they have to work their way back into this one with a man disadvantage. But they do like to do this a lot. They have one player over by himself, a Melendima with the AWP. Almost definitely shouldn't be that one. Vona's trying to go through the smoke on a timing, and Sage deals with that one. Rocky Zip completely just doesn't check the pit position, and he goes down as well. Aristratus coming through the fading motor smoke, gets taken out by the third player over on this A site for Token. Melendima, after being by himself, receiving plenty of damage, just sits back and saves that AWP. So 7th round on the board for Token Gaming. It's starting to build up a little bit of money behind them. Couple players getting up towards 8k now as a pause comes in, presuming attack pause coming in from the T side. Look at the scoreline for Zage and Bronx. 14-5, 12-3 respectively. And 4 of the CTs have AKs. That's not a situation you really want to have when you're on the attacking side. That is way too many rifles on the CT side with that 1 bullet headshot potential. Mostly an eco coming in from EsportsWales. A couple of upgraded pistols. Most of it's going to have to be around setting up that AWP for success. He's going to position himself watching that banana position, but Token Gaming, after the early aggression in banana, they've stopped doing that now. They just are happy to keep control of top banana instead. Token using a fair amount of util early on this A site. Just completely taking out any options of choke points for EsportsWales, who are now going to slowly make their way over to B rather. Only 1 smoke, so that pretty much only leaves the option of smoking CT, and then the 2 flashes to try and make their way onto site. But no, we have seen him before do pretty well in these positions. That Molotov is going to go down for New Box, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult for him. This time he has the support of Bronx, the flashes of Bronx. But unfortunately, Note can't get anything. And Aristratus, did he push through the CT smoke? I think the man pushed through the CT smoke, finds the flank for Coffins. And that makes things just a little bit more difficult for Token Gaming. A very good take coming in from the ecoing T side. But there's the first kill on the retake. Melendima holding the right angle. See. Cleans it up with a nade. And the kill on Aerostratus, but MSKR trying to bait out the AWP shots. And then just comes crouch peeking around the corner with a headshot. Melodema completely obliterated. Oh my days. Okay then. We're back to having no ops on the field, and somehow that retake happened. Oh, the aggression from Dichan is gonna be taken out. Wacky Zip doing pretty comfortable with his own. But Vones fumbles with his nades. I think he's using scroll wheel. Was he using scroll wheel? If he is, you've done that on yourself, I'm afraid. MSKR, sitting aggressive, somehow almost gets 2 kills. But despite the early kill coming in for EsportsWales, they've taken a lot of damage to start off this round. Stratus defaulting back to that bit of T-side presence from one singular person. This time he's going to just sprint his way back to regroup up with his team over on B. Bronx throwing down the smoke, and he's going to peek behind it, and it almost gets all 4 of them through the smoke. That would have been absolutely stupid if he'd gotten Wacky Zip as well. Running out of bullets and can't find any with the USP, unfortunately. But now this man on 22 HP somehow has to do a 1v2 clutch. We've got Milk coming in from CT, and Zage has managed to flank his way all the way through. Banana. Wacky Zip gonna get lucky with the timing, so he's found the first one. Sage just tries to swing him in CT. Doesn't connect the bullet he needs, but he is so prepared for this Coffin's peak. Look at how wide he is. The flash from Wacky Zip completely not the correct position for the position Zage took up. And so another round on the board for Token Gaming. That's their 9th. My days. If all of 4 of those kills came through the smoke, that would be absolutely ridiculous. So once more, you can have an op on the T side. This time it's Aerostratus. I feel like there's a little bit of contention in the T side over who wants to be oping. I mean, I have been in that situation myself, but it's not great when you seem to have 2 people that want to be oping mid-game. Particularly in a league format like this. It's the early pick from Bronx. Gonna leave Note in a bit of a tough spot. Melodema's found one of the entries. Make that both entries. Somehow, this take of the B side is going to come in very cleanly. Melodema just runs in and takes out both of the CTs on B. Wacky Zip pushing ahead of what Zage expected. Oh, that nade. That's going to hit directly. MSKR. Unintentionally with a perfect nade. But he is alone. And Melodema's found his way into church. She's going to make things all that more difficult, and Wacky Zip just sneaking through that retake smoke, finding the remaining player. But yeah, a bit of an odd one. Melodema seems to just run out onto B completely dry and takes out both players. Again, we see that this time the second opera of Aerostratus holding an angle and just gets swung into oblivion. Oh, that nade is going to be good. And there we go. Astralis Prime-esque. And Bronx without even seeing anyone. Just gets that one kill over and is immediately going to vacate his way over onto A. And the Apps aggression. It's 2 kills for Sage. They're going to hear another one coming in as well. Oh, MSKR looking away at just the wrong moment. He's going to go down. So 1 kill has been found for the 2 left. His side. WackyZip. That's a great pre-fire. Doesn't get anything for it. Surely they hear the reloads in Arch. Oh, the contact. The contact from Dejan at Moto completely drags their attention away. Allows Bronx to just swing out from Arch. And the 2 of them net a kill apiece. So a 10th round on the board. Into double digits go Token Gaming. EsportsWales. They're going to have a great CT side to bring it back. Which could be difficult. We have seen historically Token, this lineup, in the previous 3 games. Pretty good on their T sides. So, going to be a difficult one for them. We do have a pause. That's ending now. 21 kills on Zage, 19 on Bronx. Is absolutely incredible. The 2 are absolutely unplayable right now. If you're EsportsWales. MSK positive as well. He's been a bit unlucky on some of his timings. And no, had a quiet game so far. He's been in a couple of difficult situations, but T-side hasn't necessarily hit B a whole lot of times where it's been in Note's best interests. Token focusing a lot on their brackets control right now. WackyZip providing a lot of noise over in that boiler position immediately as a counter. Yeah, Token, they seem aware of what some of the stuff that EsportsWales has been doing, because as soon as that... Okay. As soon as that contact from one person came in on A, a smoke goes down on B from Token Gaming. I don't know what that was from Aerostratus. It's very unfortunate for Note. There's not really a lot you can say there for that one. It do be like that sometimes. He's not going to get another one, as this time he gets killed from the player boosted up. But ultimately, the T-side, they have been able to take B with a man advantage. Could be heading for a 5th round here for EsportsWales. A resmoke for CT is a very good thing. MSKR gonna get boosted up. He's gonna spot 2, and spray transfer is excellent. The flash from Dejan as well. And they now know where they now know where both players are. WackyZip. He's gonna clean it up. Vonez gets 1 as well, as the 2 CTs try to come through the smoke. CT side of the map both, so EsportsWales could provide something here. They do have 2 people who seem to want to AWP, so on a CT side, that can be a positive thing if you've got the money for it. 22-7. 20-7 is ridiculous. Look at all the assists as well. 7 for MSKR, 6 for Note and Bronx. They really have put down a lot of frags. No, that flash timed perfectly for them to come out into brackets and for the short push, but it's not really met with a lot of contact. Now as they try to push into the site, Molendina gets 1 from the pit position. He managed to get another as well. Somehow WackyZip has survived on site. Or Stratus rather. WackyZip coming in from Moto to get 1. And what looked like a quick hit, which could have gone well, quickly snowballs out of control, and the CT side just lock it down. And yeah, Yeah, I am still in Korea, doggy. It is currently 10 to 6 in the morning. I've been up for about 2 hours now. The anti-eco from EsportsWales should be fairly comfortable. There's only one upgraded pistol this time, except for the P250. So you'd think that with just one deagle, the P250, the rest being completely default, shouldn't be too difficult for the CT side. They do have an M4 over here for these long-range duels. MP9 up on top of first orange as well for close range. In comes the flash. It's going to take out the Coffins player. Robert Fett's going to have to drop down off first orange, but he still gets 3 kills. And MSKR left alone as Merlin gets 1 with the deagle as well. MSKR manages to find 1 kill. Merlin going to clean that up. So, EsportsWales edging their way back. They're now 3 rounds behind. In comes the first gun round. A little bit more util on Token's 3rd round buy compared to what EsportsWales had on their T side. A very passive B stance from the CTs. They've completely given up banana. And they've not exactly pushed over an A either. Someone could be pushed up somewhere on A with timings and they would have absolutely 0 clue. Plethora of smokes going down. Couple of Molotovs for good measure over on 8. It's, I think Vornes actually blocked that long smoke, so there is a gap in it if they want to try abuse it. Instead, Aerostratus has hidden himself in the top end spot. He's going to go through it now as the smokes go down to B. Boba Fett from the same position gets another one. Note, already behind. And Aerostratus, I don't think he was expecting someone to be holding the flank that early as he comes jumping around the half wall. The 2 CTs there, they've already backed off. Vornes, Wacky Zip, gonna elect to save their weapons. It's a Token. And here's the first 2 rounds. Managed to pull off the win in the first gun round though. So back into potentially comfortable situation for them. Wacky Zip, is he gonna look the correct way? Yes, he is. He's not gonna peek at the right time though. No, he's gonna sneak around the corner and take him out. And Vornes does successfully save that M4. So, CTs have something to work with at least. Although it is on that person that's really struggled in this game so far. Vornes 3 and 14. So, if there was ever for a time that he has to come big, it would be this round. A nade. A little too deep for Melendima. As he sits, trying to find an angle available in the smoke. As it starts to fade, he will back off now. The setup, good for 1. As Flobberfett takes the initial contact, and then Melendima peeking off of it. Aerostratus trying to do something in mid. So he did go down. And Vornes! I said if there was ever a time to become big, it would be this round. He does get 2 quick kills. Unfortunately, he doesn't get any more. MSKR shuts it down. But he did almost put that into a winnable situation. So there's the anti-eco dealt with for Token's T side. They've been very comfortable on those anti-ecos all game. We've had a few of them. Makizip looks like he wants to try the aggression. And did he not? I thought he threw a smoke down. Or at least it looked like he did on the X-ray. Seemingly not as he burns. Dejan. There is a gap in that smoke, which you might get a kill from. If he just sneaks over to it. There it is. A few bullets on Devonez. MSKR looking to try capitalize on it as well. As he takes out Aerostratus and Zima. It is a bit of a cheeky angle. That spot. A little bit more aggressive than you'd necessarily expect from the long AWPer. Boba Fett, he was known that entire time. And with 3 players coming into maul him, not a lot he could do. I think this is probably going to be another save from EsportsWales. Melandima absolutely has zero desire to rotate over to B. And Vonez, he stayed aggressive. See if he can get any kills. That is a nice angle. It could be a very much one and done spot if multiple try and come his way. Not gonna be the case. Token Gaming, they're just gonna take the safe route. That's them onto a 13th. So 2 weapon saves. Vonez has managed to stay alive a couple of times now with that M4. And last time he was in a similar situation to this, he did bring a couple of kills to the table, so maybe he could do some more in this round. He's not the only one with a weapon this time, though, so he's got a little bit of backup. And Dima choosing to peek aggressively. And it works out for him, taking out Dejan. Here comes some util off the back of that from Token Gaming. But that has absolutely done nothing for the B players. They've not rotated whatsoever. They're going to stick with their eco hold over here. And, oh, Aerostratus peeks out a little bit too far. Bronx is going to take his head off. Now no play a new box, but there's also a player boosted up the flash. Very awkward indeed, it seemed. Makizip goes down. But full effect, there he's going down as well now. As Bronx finds his head over the smoke. As the smoke fades, that is beautiful from Bronx. Finding the head of Vonez. And the AWPer stuck once more with an impossible situation. He's just going to back off. He's going to stick around a little bit to see if he can find anything more. That might be his downfall as the Token players start to try and swarm in on him. Left running back with some flashes. This player running down mid as well. This could catch him off guard. No, unfortunately. That's Note, who had his knife out. Now taking the contact. And Melandima missing the shot on the jiggle peak. And then goes running up the stairs straight into the headshot from MSKR. Try as he might. Unfortunately, this AWP has been bought this round. Looked like there was a little bit of conversation from Token as to who was going to have weapons, because they have decided to carry over that AWP. Dima. Great again with this aggressive peek. Not as aggressive as the previous one, but he does find the opening pick once more. This time, looks like he's gonna make his way over to A after getting that initial kill. But Bronx managed to trade one back with an AWP of his own. And the timing shot is excellent from Melandima. He positions himself up for apps now as well. Okay, no. Just crouch peeks and takes the upper's head off. As you do. So 3-3. Make that 2-3 in terms of token gaming. As Note goes down over on A. But there's a soul man here at the moment for B. As Flubberfett doing his best to stay alive. And in fact, he gets a kill from it as well. MSKR gonna trade that out. He's gonna take some damage from the Molotov coming through the smoke. He does still have 2 players to find. Aggressive position to get the first, but not expecting Wacky Zip to already be coming out of CT. Spossy does get 1. He's not able to clean it up and get the second as well. And an 8th round on the board for EsportsWales as they keep themselves just about in this. But they're running out of opportunities to save their weapons. And this buy is incredibly scrappy. And if that's Vornez's weapon, I can understand why he is struggling so much. That's harsh. An A4 coming out from Vornez. Certainly not the more favoured weapon these days. A deagle from Milindima. And they may have won last round, but their economy is absolutely screwed. Full effects on MP9. Aristratus is on a FAMAS with no utility or even a defuse kit. Milindima just has a deagle. So Token have some wiggle room. They've certainly got the better buy. Taking this one nice and slow, clearing out all the angles. Akizet, if he wanted to be able to check Boiler after throwing that smoke, it didn't quite go in the right position he wanted. T-side, they've taken brackets. They still have Bronx making some noise over on B as well. I'm not sure if that was heard, but they might have just heard him backing off, and somehow Wacky Zip from atop the balcony has found 2 kills. And Vornez finds the other 2. Sage. In a round where they had the wiggle room, they had the weapon advantage. It's left into a 1v3 clutch, and Sage is going to have to come big here. He finds the first one. They line up. And he almost gets all 3. Vornez and Flubberfett almost lining up perfectly for the ace. Flubberfett gets the kill. He keeps things calm. And he puts another round on the board for the British side. As Sage edges his way to a 30 bomb. And MSKR has 21 kills and 8 assists. That'd be a lot of assists. See this very slow, methodical style from Token again. This time a bit more of aggression on that B site. And it absolutely looks like this is where they want to head. They do get slowed down by the smoke and Molotov from Flubberfett. Prevent that that push over onto the B site. And they back off now. And focus their attention over on A. The smoke for long. They're going to flash their way into short as well. They've taken brackets. Molotov. I forced him a little bit back off of short, so this could allow Aristrats to peek in if he wants. More util coming down. They still have a couple of smokes that they can use as well. Aristratus, if he just decides to peek on timing, he could be presented with a firing range to get some free kills. Unfortunately, he doesn't. I think Zage throwing some util, trying to bait out a mid to B. And then he comes back, running out into the A site. Didn't realize about the man that had just pushed. But Aerostratus doesn't realize that the T side are wrapping on A as well. And MSKR takes out the pit player. So now a 3v4 retake needed. And the trouble is, if EsportsWales, if they lose this, they have no money for the next round if they go for the retake. But if they save as they're doing, sure, they get some weapons, but they completely guaranteed give up this round, and they cannot make a single mistake from this point on. As I said, CTs do elect to save, so that allows Token a comfortable 15th round. And now the CT side have to scrape together some sort of buy. The two players that weren't able to be alive go for the MP9s. I think Melendima dropped one of those over, actually. Smacky had barely any money, and Melendima very comfortable with the timing shot. So he gets the opening pick. As I did think the initial stop and then things started moving again was the fact that the game had ended. But we are at it once more. I'm not sure what's going on. Kind of just sat here at the moment. Go TV reconnecting. Server died the moment you got the final kill. Okay. Is that... Okay. That is definitely a done deal now. It is 16-9. That's great.